In this tutorial, we're going to play with the Pathfinder tools instead of the shape modes. So let's select the first two here, go to the Pathfinder, and click on it. And now click off of it and see how it's different. In the first one, you'll notice that it united everything. Well, the Pathfinder tool, the first one, what it does is it cuts a new shape over every overlap. So to access these shapes, I can double click, or I could use the white arrow. And you'll see that I have all the individual shapes that are part of that group. Now I can double click outside of it and you'll see that I have the results there. Now this can be really powerful because anything that overlaps you can do cool things with. So you don't have to do this right now. I'm just going to show you an example of using this and doing some really neat things. So there's a very simple overlap and there's a bunch of shapes there. I can use the Pathfinder, and then one thing you can also do is you can ungroup them if you don't want to go ahead and double click, and I can take out all the parts that I need, and then I could move them around and use them in any sort of design that I want. So it's really cool. That's one of the most powerful divide pathfinders that there is. Let's go on to the next one and apply it, and you'll see that it has done pretty much the same thing, except this time it's just taken the front one and cut it out of the back one. That's kind of like using Flash, possibly. Next one. Looks pretty similar, doesn't it? There you can see it's gotten rid of parts of it. And there's the original shape there. Now do be aware that you'll notice that when I'm using these, I am not getting some of the fills. It's actually removing some of the fills that I have. Why exactly? I don't know. It's just one of those things that happens when you start using these. And take a look. You can see how the results of this one look very different than the results of the first one, even though at first it seemed similar. And this last one, we'll use the minus back. And that looks kind of like one of the original shape modes, which was minus front here, but it just did a minus back instead. So very interesting how different these can be. You want to notice how it changes the colors, and you'll see also how these removed our strokes. So very, very interesting. It also added points there. You can see a point here in the middle that's been added. So by using all these tools together, though, you can do some really, really interesting things. Now, the next tool that I want to show you is the Shape Builder tool. And this is going to be really cool. Let's go grab a different thing and just go ahead and grab some different shapes that you draw on top of each other and connect them somehow. Doesn't really matter how they are connected at this point, but you'll see that I have a bunch of different objects here, and they're all kind of touching each other. And if I wanted to, I could go to the shape modes and select everything and just unite them all as one shape. But that's not quite as fun. So I'm going to go to the Shape Builder tool, if I can find it here. And to use the Shape Builder tool, you first need to select on what you want to use the Shape Builder tool with. Then you can select the Shape Builder tool, and you can drag over every overlap that's there. And you can build shapes in cool, crazy ways doing it. So you'll see at this point, if I go back, I've only selected those parts. I haven't connected all of the other shapes. It's like using the Pathfinder, but in an interactive kind of cool way. So it's a really neat tool. So you can play with that. Maybe try playing with some rectangles where we have some duplicated rectangles on top of each other. Whoops. And I'm going to create another path there and another path here. This is like a simple shape, and I can use, once again, once I select all of them, I can use the Path Builder tool to connect all of them together as one shape in an interactive way. And that's pretty cool. So we need to go back to our black arrow, then we can click on the colors. So make some sort of shape with the Shape Builder tool, save your work, and you are done with the introduction to the Pathfinder. So go on to the next tutorial.